Here we are at Cape Town for the one-day international between South Africa and Australia. There are a few clouds about, but the sun's out and it's a lovely day for watching cricket. And you had a look at the pitch a little earlier, Jim. How was it?
Good morning, Richie, and good morning, everyone. This should be a batsman's paradise. It's hard and flat with a lightning-quick outfield. There should be lots of runs out here. Definitely a time to fill your boots. If the team batting first can post a huge total, then they can put pressure on the team batting second. If I was captain, I'd bat first out here. Back to you, Richie.
Donald is the opening bowler for South Africa. Donald had the batsman in a lot of trouble with that one.
The batsman's getting a bit of a working over out there.
Those runs will go down in the book as extras. It's straight at Palace. Those are the first runs for Gilchrist.
The fielding restrictions provide the opportunity for attacking batsmen to score some fast early runs.
Pollock to begin a new over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Well, that could go all the way to the boundary. That's the first boundary for Hayden. It's in the air. That was beautifully turned off his legs before.
He played that shot to perfection.
This over is proving rather costly to South Africa. Stopped by Mackenzie. There it goes. That takes him into double figures.
Australia are off to a flying start here. If they can keep it going, they're in for a large total.
Donald to begin a new over. The score is now no wicket for 18. Gilchrist facing. Donald to bowl to Gilchrist. It's high in the air. That's the first boundary for Gilchrist. Donald to bowl to Gilchrist. Pollock to begin a new over. Pollock to Hayden. He's worked that into the gap. That's gone high in the air. Gilchrist moves into double figures with those runs. 46 overs are left in the innings. Donald to begin a new over. Stopped by Boyer. Hayden waiting at the striker's end. Pushed into the gap. The batsmen are after two, fielded in the deep by Mackenzie. Play it away with comfort. Batsmen are coming back for two. That's the end of the fifth over. Pollock to begin a new over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Pollock at the start of his run-up. It's high in the air. Super shot by Gilchrist.
Oh, great shot. That was a pleasure to see.
The score is now no wicket for 35. Donald to begin a new over. Comfortably taken, no worries.
He got into great position to take that catch.
Hayden makes his way back to the dressing room. That could go all the way to the boundary. That's the first boundary for Ponting. Stopped by Pollock. Ponting is now facing. Donald to bowl to Ponting. Donald to Ponting. It's too short, and it's been dispatched before. Looks in good form out there.
Well, if you're going to pitch that short, you'll get punished.
.43 overs are left in the innings. We're about to see the first bowling change. Great shot by Gilchrist. Gilchrist has now moved into the 20s. He smashed that one right out of the ground. That went a long way back into the stands.
The bowler doesn't look too happy about it. There might be a little bit more in the next one.
That brings up the 50 for Australia. Hit straight to a fielder. Over pitched and 4. Picked up very early by Gilchrist.
It was a good shot, but the bowler shouldn't be bowling at him.
15 runs were picked up from that over by Cullinan. He's worked that into the gap. Gilchrist waiting at the striker's end. Batsmen are coming back for 2. Donald to Ponting. Ponting moves into double figures with those runs. Out, he's caught him.
Well taken. He never looked like dropping.
Gilchrist eventually goes for 30. There's a mix-up with the batsman. 41 overs are left for Australia. Cullinan to begin a new over. There it goes.
The bowler doesn't look too happy about it. There might be a little bit more in the next one.
Ponting waiting at the striker's end. Cullinan at the start of his run-up. That's out. Caught.
That was a loose shot. He'll be kicking himself about that one.
Ponting makes his way back to the dressing room. Bevan facing his first ball. Hit straight at Mackenzie. Cullinan to Bevan. That's a cracking shot. That's the first boundary for Bevan. That's the end of the 10th over. Donald to begin a new over. That's too short. 4 runs. That's the first boundary for War. There it goes.
That's a demoralising sight for any bowler, seeing the ball sail over the fence.
That was athletic fielding by Rhodes. Donald continues. Stopped by Mackenzie. That was very tight, so the umpire's calling for the TV replay. 10 runs came from that over. That should just go for 4 runs. Bevan really takes advantage of anything overpitched.
He loves the ball in that area. Great shot. 4 runs.
That's a big hit. It'll go all the way. That was sheer power.
Well, you can't set fields for shots like that. That's brilliant.
It's straight at Preston. There should be some runs here. .38 overs are left for Australia. Donald to begin a new over. Hit straight to a fielder. I think he was easily back in the crease there. Donald at the start of his run-up. Donald took War. stopped by Mackenzie. 37 overs are left in the innings. Cullinan to begin a new over. There it goes. That was a wonderfully timed straight drive.
There's a perfect example of how to play that shot. He deserved 4 runs for it.
Cullinan to bowl to Bevan. It'll be 4 more to the total. Bevan has moved into the 20s and is starting to look far more relaxed. Cullinan to bowl to Bevan. That's cleared the infield. Bevan very quickly onto that one.
What a clever piece of batting. He picked a safe area and just lifted it over the infield.
36 overs are left for Australia. We're about to see a change in the bowling. Pollock at the start of his run-up. That's straight up in the air. Waugh moves into double figures with those runs. Pollock at the start of his run-up. Hit straight to a fielder. Pollock at the start of his run-up. Pollock is back in the attack. That's racing away for 4. That went like a rocket to the fence.
Cracking shot. He's in great form.
That's the end of the 15th over. Cullinan to continue with his off-spin. He's worked that into the gap. Waugh facing. Hit straight to a fielder. It's in the air. Waugh has moved into the 20s and is starting to look far more relaxed. Pollock to begin a new over. Ooh, that looked quite nasty.
The batsman can't have any complaints about that. That's international cricket.
Hit straight to a fielder. There it goes. The bowler won't like that one little bit.
He smashed that a long way. Great to watch for the neutral, but the bowler won't be too happy.
It's beaten the fielder, but it won't go all the way. 33 overs are left for Australia. Cullinan to begin a new over. Cullinan at the start of his run-up. Great catch.
A slight fumble, but safely taken in the end.
Bevan makes his way back to the dressing room. That's the first runs of the day for Symonds. Pushed into the gap. Hit straight at Donald. That is an excellent catch.
That was a bad shot. He really seemed to lose concentration.
Waugh makes his way back to the dressing room. A very good over. Only 2 off it in the end. The new batsman comes in at the non-striker's end. There it goes. That's the first boundary for Symonds. That's gone high in the air. Pollock is not impressed.
He gave the batsman too much room there. 4 runs.
That takes him into double figures. Shot. That is beautifully played. That's the first boundary for Waugh. Waugh is now on strike. .31 overs are left for Australia. South Africa are about to make a change in the bowling. Cullis had the batsman in a lot of trouble with that one.
He really had the batsman in trouble with that one.
Good stroke for 4. He hit that with awesome power.
He played that shot perfectly.
That's the end of the 20th over. Pollock to Gore. Well bowled, great take by the wicketkeeper. It's high in the air. Pollock continues. That's gone high in the air. Super shot by Symonds.
That was a wonderful shot. He looks in great shape out there.
That's speeding to the boundary. That was a very confident shot.
The bowler put that right in his favourite area.
Great catch.
Fantastic catch. He flung himself at the ball and actually managed to hold on to it.
Moore makes his way back to the dressing room. Cullis at the start of his run-up. That's a lovely way to get off the mark. That's gone high in the air. The batsmen are looking for two. Great job done by the fielder in the deep. Pollock to begin a new over. Comfortably taken, no worries.
It might have looked easy, but it wasn't.
Stopped by Boyer. Pollock continues. Cullis to begin a new over. He's got that one over the infield and away for four. Symonds has moved into the 20s and is starting to look far more relaxed. Cullis at the start of his run-up. Looked as if he was home to me. Lee facing. That's a lovely way to get off the mark. Pollock to begin a new over. Stopped by Boyer. Pollock continues. A long hop and punish. That was perfectly struck.
Thanks very much. 4 runs. The bowler really needs to keep the ball up on this pitch.
That's over the rope. 6 runs off Pollock. Really struck that well.
What an effortless shot. Brilliant.
Batsmen are coming back for 2. Pollock continues. That's the halfway mark. 25 overs. Cullis to begin a new over. Hit straight to a fielder. That is an excellent catch. So then, that's the end of Lee Gillespie facing his first ball. Pollock for the last of his allotted overs. That's 4 runs. That was a really confident shot.
That came right out of the meat. Excellent shot.
Pollock to bowl to Symonds. A shot. That went like a rocket to the fence.
Really good shot there. Nicely timed and picked the gap perfectly.
That's gone high in the air. He can enjoy this as he's had to work very hard for it. That brings up his half century.
He's applied himself superbly out there.
Pollock at the start of his run-up. .23 overs are left for Australia. Cullis to begin a new over. There it goes. He's timing the ball perfectly today.
What a ripper. The crowd enjoyed that one.
Cullis at the start of his run-up. Well played, but the fielder will cut that one off. Symonds is now facing. Cullis continues. It's in the air. That was a shot straight out of the coaching manual.
That looked like 4 the moment he struck it.
That's a good shot. Looks in good form out there.
That was a good shot. He saw it early and got into position quickly.
12 runs came from that over for Australia, and we have a change of bowling. That's the first runs of the day for Gillespie. Oh, that's a really superb shot. He found the gap with precision.
You could see the batsman's eyes light up when he saw that one coming.
There should be some runs here. Great job done by the fielder in the deep. The batsman will have to run these. The batsmen are coming back for a second. Symonds is now on strike. That over cost 9 runs. Cullis to begin a new over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Rhodes reaches it before it crosses the boundary. Symonds facing. He smashed that one right out of the ground. He smashed that right out of the ground.
That was a super shot. I really didn't think it was too bad a ball.
He goes over the top. That was a superb placement.
Really good shot there. Nicely timed and picked the gap perfect.
Cullis continues. It's high in the air. That was beautifully turned off his legs before.
Cracking shot. The secret there was that he got his feet into position early and had plenty of time to play the shot.
Pushed into the gap. These two batsmen have taken the 9th wicket partnership on to 50. That's the end of the 30th over. Stopped by Cullinan. Symonds waiting at the striker's end. Boye at the start of his run-up. Well, that's found the gap in the field. Symonds waiting at the striker's end. There it goes. Symonds will be eyeing his century now. Cullis is back in the attack. That's racing away for 4. That was a superb placement.
Lovely front foot shot. Head over the ball, wrists in front of the bat as he played through the line.
Fielder's not going to reach that one. Now he needs to get his head down again and aim for the next landmark. That brings up his century. Hit straight to a fielder. Cullis at the start of his run-up. That over eased the pressure on the batting team. Boye to begin a new over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Symonds waiting at the striker's end. A cracking stroke. Boye is not impressed.
Well, he smashed that for 4 with a big smile on his face.
That's 4 more. He's timing the ball perfectly today.
He picked that ball up beautifully. The bowler will have to be careful not to put the ball in that area again.
"17 overs are left for Australia." We're going to see the off-spin of Cullinan. Cullinan to bowl to Gillespie. Played into the gap. Cullinan to bowl to Symonds. Symonds is now facing. Hit straight to a fielder. There it goes. That's the end of the 35th over. Symonds is now facing. There it goes. Hardly seemed to hit that, yet it sailed over the ropes.
Another one of those, and this bowler could be out of the attack.
Australia have taken their total on to 8 for 266. There it goes. That was sheer power.
Exciting stuff. He took a risk, but was well rewarded as the ball disappeared over the fence.
Great shot by Symonds. Symonds won't miss anything bowled 2-4.
The bowler can't have too many complaints about seeing that ball disappear to the boundary.
Cullinan to bowl to Symonds. Well, that could go all the way to the fence. These two batsmen have taken the 9th wicket partnership on to 101. Gillespie is now facing. For all the way. That's the first boundary for Gillespie. Oh yeah, he's back in the attack. Oh, big shout for that one. And the umpire shakes his head. That really was a very close call. A nice shot, but it won't make it to the boundary. Well, that could go all the way to the fence. He's timing the ball perfectly today.
He played that shot to perfection.
Oh yeah, he's back in the attack. Nine runs came from that over by Gillespie, waiting at the striker's end. Hit straight to a fielder. He didn't quite get hold of that one properly. That takes him into double figures. Symonds is now facing. Hit straight to a fielder. A very good over. Only one off it in the end. Boye to begin a new over. The batsman will have to run these. Kirsten just picks that up inside the rope. There's a mix-up with the batsman. Well played, but the fielder will cut that one off. Great shot by Symonds. He's timing the ball perfectly today.
The bowler put that right in his favourite area.
Symonds is now on strike. Hit straight at Cullinan. Gillespie is now facing. He just beat the fielder to the rope. He's timing the ball perfectly today.
That came right out of the meat. Excellent shot.
Cullinan at the start of his run-up. The fielder will cut that off. Cullinan to bowl to Symonds. And the batsman didn't look at all comfortable there.
That turned a long way. The bowler will have enjoyed that.
Symonds is now facing. That's too full, and it's been punished. That was a real textbook shot.
Beautifully played. Head over the ball, weight forward, a textbook shot.
That's the end of the 40th over. Oh yeah, to begin a new over. Four. Gillespie has moved into the 20s and is starting to look far more relaxed. He's worked that into the gap. The batsmen are coming back for a second. He looked as if he was home to me. The fielder will cut that off. Brilliantly caught.
For those of you watching at home, that's a good example of how to take a catch.
Gillespie is finally out for 26. McGrath facing his first ball. Nine overs are left in the innings. We're about to see a change in the bowling. Shot, that is beautifully played. That was a very confident shot.
He really needs to concentrate on line and length right now to keep the runs down.
It's in the air. He really can't afford to pitch short on this track.
He really laid into that delivery. 4 runs all the way.
That's gone high in the air. That was beautifully turned off his legs for 4.
Far too short. That got what it deserved.
It's in the air. So there was 16 off that over. Oye, to begin a new over. Symonds is now on strike. That'll just make it to the boundary. That was a shot straight out of the coaching manual.
For all the kids watching out there, that is a perfect example of how to play the shot.
Oye continues. That's 4 more. Looks in good form out there.
Cracking shot. The secret there was that he got his feet into position early and had plenty of time to play the shot.
Oye to Symonds. Klusner to begin a new over. That's a lovely way to get off the mark. Gibbs reaches it before it crosses the boundary. Klusner at the start of his run-up. Up and over and 4 runs. That was 4 the moment it left his bat.
Oh, great shot. That was 4 from the moment it left the bat.
Symonds is now on strike. That over helped the run rate somewhat. The new batsmen won't face for the time being. It's straight at Cullinan. Batsmen are looking for 3. Well, it's going to reach the boundary. Symonds won't miss anything bowled 2-4.
That was a wonderful shot. He looks in great shape out there.
Symonds is now on strike. That's the end of the 45th over. The new batsman won't have to face just yet. That's straight up in the air. The batsmen are coming back for a second. Rhodes cuts that off. Klusner continues. He's worked that into the gap. That looked like 4 all the way. That's a beautiful shot. That clattered into the boards.
Cracking shot. The secret there was that he got his feet into position early and had plenty of time to play the shot.
The batsman will have to run these. The new batsman won't have to face just yet. That's found the gap in the field. The batsmen are coming back for a second. Boyer to Symonds. That's gone high in the air. Boyer at the start of his run-up. Good stroke for 4. He's timing the ball perfectly today.
That came right out of the meat. Excellent shot.
Stopped by Cullinan. Three overs are left for Australia. Klusner to begin a new over. Great shot by McGrath. That's the first boundary for McGrath. McGrath is now on strike. That's beaten the fielder, but it won't go all the way. That's straight up in the air. gone over the top with that, and it looks like 4 runs. McGrath moves into double figures with those runs. That over eased the pressure on the batting team, and we have a change of bowling. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Stopped by Rhodes. That's too short. 4 runs. That really was excellent timing.
The bowler didn't do too much wrong there. It was just an excellent shot.
Klusner to begin a new over. There it goes. A really good innings by Symonds. It brings up his double century. Klusner at the start of his run-up. There it goes. That was beautifully turned off his legs before.
That's not the right line to bowl to this batsman. He'll punish anything there.
It's in the air. Really looks in fine nick today.
Oh, great shot. That was a pleasure to see.
Symonds is now facing. It's straight at the gift. Australia have been bowled out for 396.
Superb fielding. He only had a small target to aim at, but took aim and hit perfectly. Australia have built a large total. Now they need to keep it tight in the field and get some quick wickets.
397 runs required.